Okay, now what I'm going to show you next, I said I'd give you two models, and the first was the John and Jane and the flower model. And if you took away only that, you'd think, oh, well, this is kind of Mickey Mouse or, first grade or something. But we're going to do the natural numbers. The natural numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. That's what you started with in first grade. Or maybe, did they tell you 0 in first grade? I can't remember. Anyway, so this is and I know you go, oh, well, there's the numbers. Just 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. There's numbers. Why do I have to say anything? Well, in mathematics, you have to list the properties and the rules, and then derive things from those. So the axioms for the natural numbers, you start out by saying 0 is a natural number. You start out with something exists, and it's actually just 0. And then, you want something more. You don't want just 0. So you say every natural number has a successor. And if we compare this to Maharaja's axioms, he said consciousness exists. He said consciousness is conscious. So there's the first one is the existence, and then the second one is a dynamism, a way of creating from what you have already. The number 0 is not the successor of any natural number. That's just a way of saying we're going to start with 0. If two numbers have the same successor, then they are equal. That's also important, more technical than anything else. And if you have 0 and the successor of every number, then you have every natural number. And this is also very technical, but it means that you can use induction, which is, if you've ever done much of mathematics, you know induction is important. But the main thing I want you to take away from this is the axioms for the natural numbers start with saying this thing exists. And then how do we get the next thing from this thing through a process of observation? And I'm claiming that the being a successor is a process of observation. And so we're going to interpret these in terms of the Maharaja's theory. So Maharaja says consciousness is all there is. And in this example, the natural numbers model, the collection contains the natural numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. It contains the successor function. So that's a process. The numbers are actual objects or observers. The successor function is a way of connecting. And then it contains all concepts that are defined using these. And using those 5 axioms that I just showed you, we can define addition and multiplication and all kinds of things. And then we're going to say in our realm of all that exists, that any bit of consciousness that we can form will be a part of that. And okay, I've got myself covered because I've said all concepts defined using these. And so the concepts are, I already said addition, multiplication. We can have greater than, less than. There's all kinds of things. And then is conscious, the way we're interpreting it in our model is can be a part of a relation, computation, or equation. And specifically, we're going to say observers can be numbers, variables, triples, pairs of numbers, or a set even. The process of observation is going to be an operation. An operation is like addition, multiplication, subtraction. A relation is like greater than, less than, equal to. And a function is something that does something. So squaring is a function. Doubling is a function. And then the observed. The observed is basically going to be the same as an observer. And in Maharaja's theory, when he talks about human consciousness, he says, anything that's an observer can be observed and vice versa. And so in this theory, the observer, what can be an observer and what can be observed belong to the same collection. And then we can rewrite the axioms that we started with in terms of Maharaja's theory. So what we're saying is 0 belongs to n is a real triple. It's a real bit of consciousness. And this compares to the axioms that, if you probably don't remember all 5 axioms. This isn't we didn't work with them long enough. But the first axiom just said 0 is a natural number. And here we're saying this triple is real. And then we're saying if you have a real bit, then this is a way to get another real bit. This is like this process of manifestation where if you have something, it can curve back on itself, and through the process of observation, something new is created. So if you have a number and its successor, then you get another number, you get another bit. And there's no such bit like this. And of course, this is a model. The model has all there is for the model, not all there is for the world. So NS0 is just not in there. And then this tells us when two things are equal. And we write it in the form of a bit. And the following, the fifth axiom is about induction. And I don't really want to discuss it here. You can ask about it in the questions if you'd like. And then when we get this model, what it does for us, it establishes the consistency of the theory.